Good happy Wednesday.
I know, aren't we? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. That's
Happy Wednesday. Oh my gosh, I hope my mic don't mess up. All right. Can you hear me now, Bueller?
I can hear you fine. Why?
All right.
Stop.
Okay. So I'm extremely excited. So Miss Raquel, right? Miss Raquel Flores had such a great show that I instantly had to steal every guest, right? And then try to put some seasoning on it, right? Because that's how I roll. Because she's awesome. Um,
It's like chefs.
so
You're not stealing recipes. You are making it, you're American idling it, right? You're making it your
yeah,
own.
Yeah, no, because I'm like, wow, that was a home run and a half. I mean, because who's not stressing about daggum school issues and parents, teachers, administrators? I mean, it's just wow. Here we go. And again, to me, the new American hero used to be firefighter. Now I have to say, teachers got to be up there at least equal. Because, whoo, sweet lord. I mean, since COVID too. But all right, before we get in all that, something that we conversations come up, right? Hounds of business. So we talk business a lot in the hounds pack. Imagine that. And one of the conversations, and this is something that I'm just going to be very transparent and vulnerable about, was being thick skinned, right? Like when you start to do things, and chime in the comments, guys, because you all know what I'm talking about. When you start to do things, people start saying they don't like you so much, or they might throw zingers at you, right? Um, and when you're not used to that, it gets a little unnerving at first. But when you're used to that and you remember, oh, hey, this means I'm arriving, I'm doing something special because no one hates on someone who doesn't do anything special. So anyway, I was inspired because I always been a spirit animal. Like, I like the whole like wolf, right? I always relate to the wolf and the dynamic of the wolves and the pack community, all that stuff. Um, but then I don't know where I've been, biology course. I don't know where the hell this animal was, but I've got a new spirit animal this year. And I don't know. I don't know if I should spill the beans or we should just roll the daggone thing. But first of all, if you have the picture, we can put the Buffett quote because this kind of came up the same week. Warren Buffett, right, the man, and he asked, he put something out there. Somebody sent a picture, and I liked it. And then I found the video and my spirit animal that kind of matched. So Warren said it in a really nice way, and then I
Yeah,
said it in a
you're
really
like, wait,
redneck
slow
shop.
down. Slow the hell down. Ah, like, slow down. And we're like, hella behind on that. But keep going. I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead. Go.
nobody watches the first 3 minutes. Thank God. Actually, they are. Oops. Uh-oh, we better fix that next time. All right, Mark Reed, Kristen Nora. Oh, look at all these people. Uh, see, I want to say their name.
I'm having
Varen,
machine
Byron.
issues. That's why I'm saying slow down
Oh, you're fine. Chris. So
badly.
as we're doing the machine issues, that's fine. Randy House of paper plates and old dad jokes. Love it. Uh, Mark Reed, words hurt, buddy. All right. So uh, Yolanda. Oh wow, cool. Look at all these people chiming in. Look, Claudia. I like Claudia. I talked to Claudia the other day. She is such a ray of sunshine, man. Uh, she's something else. So you having trouble?
Can you see me?
No, I can
Can you
see
see
you.
me?
Can you see me? I can see you.
The screen literally went. The
I can
screen
see
literally
you.
went pure white on my end. Can you hear me?
I can hear
Are you
you.
hearing
You
me?
look and sound normal. Yeah, but now I'm
Okay.
gonna call a doctor because
So
you started.
literally, the screen went pure white. I can hear you, but it was like a white blank screen, and I'm like, something's going on. I don't know what to do. I'll just stand here and smile and look pretty with my hands in the air,
Mhm.
like I don't know what's going on. So I apologize. Okay, wow, restream was having a lot of fun with me there. That was awesome.
Are you back?
Wait, I apologize. Did you want to talk about Warren Buffett? Go for it, sir. Because wow, that was some. I don't know what to say. So there you go.
Hey, that's okay, man. Hey, you gotta have grace. You didn't make the internet or restream. You're fine. All right, so this is what I was talking about earlier. Was Warren Buffett? Somebody sent this to me, took a picture of it. You will continue to suffer if you have emotional reaction to everything that is said to you. True power is sitting back and observing things with logic. True power is restraint. If words control you, that means everyone else can control you. Breathe and allow things to pass. Now, I think he wrote that knowing that Stephanie Dalfonzo was coming, maybe, right? But I like that. I looked at that, and in the world of entrepreneurship, when we're growing businesses, we go from "Oh my god, this is never going to work. I'll never get a sale," blah blah blah, to "Holy cow, I got a tsunami of opportunities." And it's really easy to lose sight of these basic principles that can guide us through it. And so I started getting worried about every little thing that was being said about me. And then I realized I usually don't care. Why do I care now? Like, I don't really care. And then that's what led me to I've been watching YouTube. I like my little girl's homeschooled. So we were doing biology, and then here he comes. Here he comes. My new spirit animal. I just still love the wolf, but I want to inject a little of this DNA
If you
into this
didn't
wolf.
know, the honey badger.
That's it. Go ahead.
All right, here we go,
If you
kids.
didn't know, the honey badger is my favorite animal, and this clip shows you why. Here you can see a pack of hyenas trying their best against a singular honey badger. Obviously this will not be enough, as the badger can literally tank pretty much any type of damage. Even though hyenas are known for their extreme bite force at 1,100 pounds per square inch, it's still no match for the super thick skin on the little badger. If you didn't know, you
Okay.
didn't know.
Oh my gosh. Did you Yeah, let's talk about your spirit animal. Is it
Yeah.
Will Smith? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, no, it was yeah, that was fun at the end. That was a little bonus from the author that made that video. But yeah, dude, it's the Wolverine is pretty much a giant honey badger that's just as bad or worse. But you can't kill the thing. I've seen it. I've seen it. An alligator ran away scarred from his tail. That blows. Like, I seen an alligator whoop up on a Siberian tiger, for hell's sake. And nope, honey badgers, like, bring it on, dude. So anybody in entrepreneurship and business, just remember, have thick skin, right? I heard someone the other day call someone a snowflake. I was like, I never even heard, but it's a delicate little thing, and this is not the place for you. You need to be the honey badger. All right. So honey badgers unite. Help me out. Keep me accountable to it. Let's be thick skinned and get some real shit done. If you want to roll that intro, I think enough people are still here. Oh, what's that? What is that? Is that honey badger
Sorry.
juice?
Me and Mark Reed were having a side conversation. I apologize. Yeah, okay, let's get this.
What's that guy doing in the pack still? We got to fix that.
I I know, I know. It's because you two love each other. It's weird, but okay, I apologize. Okay, we'll get the rolling.
Are you looking to grow your business and your mindset alongside a fun and awesome pack? Grab a chair and your favorite beverage and join Mike Ashebrainer, the business mechanic, and his win-win network for the Hounds of Business Happy Hour.
Hey, you're here now. You're here. All right. And we can see
I'm
you.
back. I am focused.
You look like Minecraft, but we're here.
I'm here.
It's here.
I think
Hey,
I've got all the stuff you need loaded.
hey, whatever, man. Hey, we, you, you are doing so much. I can't. So Brilliant Beam Media, Sia, we've got her running ragged. Like, the word's gotten out, and people just can't stop hiring her. So, like, now she's got to find a cloning machine or something and make a bunch of Sias. But that's a good problem to have, right? And I think Buffett said this too. He says, you just want to graduate to better problems. And I use that all the time. I'm like, my first problem was I didn't have any business. Now I got too much. Like, I'm trying to make more money. Buffett's trying to pay less in taxes. I want his problems, but we'll never eliminate problems. So anyway, great job. Great job on all the things you do. Brilliant Being Media, if anything media wise, digital marketing, man, you got to get it. Videos that people actually watch and like and convert to things and get results. That's her. Not just videos, stuff that makes sense and people will like. All right. Um, so go check it out, brilliantbeingmedia.com. Well earned shameless plug. And let's see.
I mean,
We
I'm right here. You can keep talking. I think it's hilarious, but thank you very much. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm right here.
Yeah, I know, but you get blushy and, like, all, like, gooey, and that's not your style, so we'll keep you tough, everybody. Alright, so, you're a good sport.
Am I
What
still blurry, everyone? Am I
Yeah.
still blurry? Because it could be my machine is just like wanting to like say I don't want to work here anymore. Which hey, if you remember Half Baked, that wonderful like I quit scene. I think my laptop is on the verge of saying I quit.
Yeah, well, I thought you just got one. Anyway.
No, it's a desktop and it's a server and it's meant for production only, post production, not this type of stuff. Yeah, don't get me started.
Get you a
Uh,
gaming
I
laptop.
might.
That ought to be able to handle everything multimedia-wise, but, alright. So who do we got on deck? Because I wanna get these wonderful, amazing people through, and I wanna get the folks in the audience. I know we have school teachers, people in school, parents, even students, right? That wanna get on and learn, how not to just freak out all the time over stuff. And that's what we're gonna bring. Real discussion. I want the audience again, guys, man, chime in, uh, ask questions, make faces, move around the ring. This is for you. Networking in these kind of settings, this is where stuff is done. All right, come on now. What is it?
No, no, it's Mark Reed again. I thought it was okay. I saw here's another great Buffett quote, and I just finally understood what he wrote. So I apologize. I'm so like laughing at this right now. Jimmy Buffett, wrong Buffett.
Yeah.
Freaking Mark Reed. I'm
Oh,
blaming Mark Reed on everything, you guys. But thank you, Claudia, for applauding me. 'Cause,
man, Mark Reed.
uh,
Mark Reed. Ain't it like what? Ain't it the 6:30? What are you doing up right now? All right. So we love you, Mark Reed. You're the man. I love your hat. Your hat is awesome. So as I was saying, network in the comments except Mark Reed. All right, everybody connect and have a good time. Ask questions. Get involved. This is your show, man. We're bringing free advice. Don't be silly. Get a damn pencil or something. Start writing stuff down. All right, so who do we got? Let's move because we got great people that we want to make sure that folks know about. Man, they got that visibility. Yeah, Michael Gale. All right, Gale Outdoor Adventures. Uh, Man, he's Lionheart, man, from, the show, right? So we he works with entrepreneurs, business owners, and major C-level executives. A lot of folks. He's got people that are just busy. Like if you're making sales, right? You're sales commission based. It's just people who are top level who work 16-hour days, or they run big businesses, or they're building the business, and their health is going to hell in a handbasket. Let's be honest, like mine, right? And so he said, "Hey, you invest in other things in business?" And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm the finance guy. Of course I know what that is." He says, "So why aren't you investing in your health? Are you going to enjoy your success when you can't move and you have to go to hospital and doctor all the time?" I'm like, "Stop using logic. You're making me mad." Right. So as we continued, and I'm sitting there with back problems complaining, my wife's like, "Hey, didn't that big guy tell you about that?" And I'm like, "Okay." So then here we were. I've been 8 months now, I think it is, in Pilates, other activities, right? He knows martial arts and all these other things. Guys, check out his profile. Go out there, check it out, check out his content, make connection with this guy. Stop the excuses. Go ahead and get on it. So thank you for helping me. I feel better. I'm more productive and much more efficient, and all his clients are as well. So stop making excuses. Go check him out. Number two, that's me. Hey, look, I'm surrounded by unbelievable winners, entrepreneurs, business owners, people with heart who get big business done. Man, that's why Sia's over here catching her tail because she's got so many opportunities. She can't even just like they're just coming at her. She's knocking them down. The bigger she grows, every day she gets more opportunities. That's what we do here. All right. So yes, we love to sing kumbaya. All right. We love the friendship. We love relationships. We practice our kindergarten skills. But hey, make no mistake about it. We get things done. We're just not abrasive about it, I guess. So if you're looking for a pack, you're a stray out there, and you're looking for a place, maybe you didn't belong, maybe you wanted an alternative to check it out. Town Hall tomorrow, 1 p.m. All right, New York City time because we are international. And if you can't make it, except Mark Reed in Japan, you have to get up bright and early. But the rest of you all will get a pre-record or a recording of it, and process to join the Hounds afterwards. So if you're looking to make an impact, get business done, do better, get more results, well, you've come to the right place. Super excited to see you tomorrow. Oh, this wonderful lady. All right, Janice. Now Shokrian. Did I say it right for the first time in my life?
It is Shokrian. Yes, Shokrian.
There you go, Shokrian. All right. With Tausi. I said that right for the 5th time in my life. Tausi brands, all right, with the pillowcase. This thing is amazing. No, no, no. I didn't get paid to say this. I just like good stuff. Yeah, and oh, by the way, I don't know which one of my little monsters stole that little block. But I have to buy another one. So anyway, this thing is not so the reason that Janice created this is because her own dad was in, the care facility, and everybody there, including her dad, that had neck, was crinked, and my grandma had the same issue. And so this thing was a she started this business and this product to help someone, suffering, and now she's trying to help more people with this issue. And so go to Talcy Brands, um, go to her business page, go to her LinkedIn, and connect. Her posts are great. She's great. But if you know somebody who has any type of pain, who just wants relief from it, especially caregivers, care partners, um, you got to get this. Well worth it, man. Absolutely 1000%. Matter of fact, I'm going to buy a couple more because my family keeps stealing them. Even the dog took it. Like it's a dog bed now. So now I have to buy a third one. So anyway, everybody check her out. Fantastic lady with a fantastic product. And last but not least, Miss Raquel. All right, there's my R rolling. Everybody leaves.
Oh, I apologize. I'm such a slacker today. I just want a promotion. Hey guys, so what we're gonna do is there is a Hounds promo, and I totally forgot what the Hounds promo code is. I know Janice, you're in there. So for those that we get the first 10 to purchase through the Hounds promo code, Brilliant Bee Media will sponsor and donate a pillowcase to Mike. You get to choose whatever cause, and we'll donate it to either a business owner or a teacher or someone that could use a Tausi. So you guys help us all out. Let's get 10 sold this month. And Brilliant Bee Media will definitely be happy to buy a Tausi for a teacher.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. Hell, I didn't even know that. That is insane. No, and again, this is the Hounds. It's not about just pushing stuff. This is stuff that people are wanting, needing, all right, can improve their quality of life. And that's the product that we have here. It's connecting people with the need that people who have that solution, period, man. So thank you
So
guys. Put that in there for us, Janice. I appreciate you. And then now, last but not least, Miss Raquel Flores. Uh, again, it's 11 a.m. in the morning on New York City Eastern Time, or if you're SIA Central Time, 10 a.m. And okay, do we know who the guest is? At least we got the time down. Do we know who the guest is?
we do 11. It'll be 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's going to be Felipe Cofino. He's like a HR big, huge advocate for us, those at work, to have and achieve mental wellness and happiness and what mental well-being. And I think he comes from the perspective of, as an HR executive. So he's extraordinarily helpful for sharing insights into how we can be better, happier, whistle while you workers.
Dude, that's
I
awesome.
don't
Yeah.
know how to whistle.
Yeah, lots of people that watch the Hounds and Raquel, they have corporate jobs, right? They're C-level or all different levels, and this is going to be really good. So excited to hear that. Um, and every time she has a guest on, I get to steal one, right? Like so, that's even better, right? She's going to catch
You're
on
so
to me.
funny.
I know, but hey, go check her out. She's all heart. She is the real deal. She does amazing things that people don't even know about. One day I'll make a little video to spill the beans, but um, go show her love and support. She brings the best content. She does so many things for people. So I absolutely go follow, go ring the bell, comment and engage, and you won't be sorry. Show up. And if you want to network like no other, what are you doing? Be there at 11 p.m. Or a.m. Eastern. Man, there are some top-notch folks in that daggum chat. You're crazy not to be networking and going in there and making yourself known and bringing value and being a part of this discussion. So thank you, Raquel. You're amazing. Can't thank you enough. Hounds, best huge leadership from her and the Hounds is amazing. So you and her, I'm gonna make y'all gush today. I knew it. Dadgummit, I was gonna do it. I think y'all look like tomatoes, so I think I can stop right and maybe move on to our amazing guest with amazing free advice. How about it?
It's about time. I think the audience is like, okay, when are we going to actually get to the real cool stuff, the real cool teachers in our lives and educators and advocates for our children, for our parents, for our education system. What?
Hello,
Hello,
hello.
everyone.
So I did something a little different this time, Sia. So we have just putting the spice on the cuisine, like you said before, right? With Raquel, this lady here. All right. So these lovely school teachers. Look, I'm going to give you all an opportunity to introduce yourself. Let everybody know who you are, and then I'll explain the little secret sauce here that I put on this nice parfait. So, yeah, that didn't make no sense. Christine Jones, do me a favor. Tell everybody who you are and what it is you do.
Okay, first of all, thank you for having me here. My name is Christine Jones, and I am a kindergarten teacher. I've been teaching now for 30 plus years. I also hold a position on our teacher leadership team, and I coach new teachers within our school district. And I just wrote a book and about self-care for teachers. So it's called the Teacher Balancing Act, and it goes through some teacher tips and tricks, and then also a journaling activity with that. And then Kristen Nori and I are working on a project together, and then Tabitha and we're working on a show together, and it's called Breaking Through the Controversies. You can catch that on Thursdays.
Oh, awesome. And you are something else. You are grassroots. I mean, we all know the education system had issues, right? And everybody knows that. But then after COVID, it became real daggum apparent and it didn't get easier. And instead of complaining and all this jazz, folks like you and Kristen and Tabitha, y'all did something about it. And I love that because, you don't claim to know the answers. But you're doing what you can, right? And you're helping people, individuals, families, one person at a time. And now you're helping them more than one person at a time. So you introduced her already, so let me do it again. We're super happy to have you here, Kristen. I appreciate it. All right. How are you today, Christine or Kristen Nora?
I am
Go
good.
ahead.
Thank you. Yes, I am great. Thank you again for having me on. Just to give a little background, this is the beginning of my 25th year in education. I did make a pivot about 2 years ago, and I left public education because I felt like I wasn't making a big enough difference and I wanted to have a more of a global impact. So I now am a professional development specialist and coach for teachers. So I get to work one-on-one and in groups with teachers and still get to work with students as well, which has been great.
That's awesome. And because you have a wealth of knowledge and daggone. I mean, if somebody else who doesn't need more help than teachers nowadays? I mean, seriously, I was a firefighter because that was the cool thing, right? And it's always but now I'm thinking like school teacher got to be right up there with the stress levels and the importance. It's got to be even more, because if our kids are all uneducated, not smart and dumb, and we're in deep stuff, right? So thank you, ladies, for helping and be part of the solution. And then last but definitely not least on this panel of the teachers and people inside the school education system is Miss Tabitha. How are you today?
I am doing good. I'm so happy to be here. I think this is fun and a very important subject to actually have going into the school year. Oh, so I'm supposed to
Yeah.
tell who I am.
Well, I didn't throw you a softball. I dropped the ball and fumbled it, so it's
It's
my
all
fault.
right.
So I tell you what, you deal with an issue that we don't think about until we have to, and then where everybody's up in arms. So you're like the best prevention on earth, right? Losing children's safety, school safety. So you have an integral part. Tell us what it is that you do.
So I built the platform that allows each child to effectively communicate their way home. And the parents get a text message during the process. I want to be very clear. That is arrival and dismissal from school. And it does encompass all ways going home, all dismissal paths, walkers and bikers, car riders, childcare bus riders, and the yellow bus riders. So no more children left in the back of the school bus. No more children dropped off at the wrong bus stop. Everybody gets to go home on time every time. And the families are part of the dismissal communication. So you know immediately when something goes wrong so you can help to avoid the chaos that happens thereafter.
Yeah. I mean, and again, it's so many things can go wrong, and a little bit of prevention, man, it goes a long way. cost wise, stress wise, PR wise, right? And you bring that to the table. And that is something that, I'm honored to help get that message out there. People need that. And I know, look at the teachers and the former teachers going, yeah, man, we're supposed to teach. Look, y'all don't want to say it. I'm going to say it. Y'all supposed to teach. Teaching is your job. You went to school to teach and educate. And now you got to do a million other things instead of teach. And we wonder why. And we're not paying you for a million job. Like they did that in the fire department. Drove me nuts. I'm a firefighter. They said, now you're an EMT. I said, I'm getting paid for 2 jobs now. They said, no. I said, well, I'm not an EMT. All right. I'm not doing that. Um, yeah, so teachers, y'all can't do that. And then now let me introduce the spice that I was talking about. So we're all stressed. Everybody gets stressed in school. And we talked about this Saturday, right? I don't know how to pick up my kids when I had them in school because the maps are not drawn to scale and the arrows make no sense. And we don't get our shopping list for school until like the day before school, right? Thanks. So all these things are happening, and not just the first days of school, but the process of the whole school year. That led us to Stephanie Dalfonzo. All right. Hey, Stephanie, I'm not even going to mess this up. All right. You tell us what you do and tell us a little bit about you.
Thanks, and I'm going to turn it back on you in just a second, Mike. First of all, I'm so thrilled to be here with you ladies who you're in there. You're in the trenches with them, with the kids. And yes, I've earned the beautiful gray. I've earned my wisdom of having kids who are in their 30s now. And doggone it, I've been saying since, for years and years and years, we need to be teaching kids how to deal with their emotions. And how this came about was being a mom, watching them go through school and what my kids went through, and then for God's sake, what you are dealing with in the classroom with the kids now after COVID. We are in an absolute crisis with mental health with our kids, teens, and young adults. So I am a hypnotist. Yeah, I know, Mark, watch out. Mark Reed's going to say, watch out. She's going to make you bark like a dog, cluck like a chicken. Only if you want to, Mark. I knew you were here, right? So I'm a hypnotist, have been for almost 20 years. And I have this incredible gift of really being able to help people make incredible changes. My soft spot is kids. If you can see this, I know the light's in the way. This little sweetheart, she was like 10 or 11 years old, and she had to be held down by 2 adults kicking and screaming when she would get her shots. And that was a picture her mom sent me after, you could see it was during COVID because she had her mask on, where she was as calm as a Zen baby. And this pediatrician locally has been sending me kids with fears and phobias for over a decade because she sees them freaking out. They work with me, they come back, and they're calm. So I've been saying for years, we've got to be able to teach these kids how to calm their emotions, how to manage them. Because those of you on the panel, raise your hand if you were taught how to manage your emotions when you were a kid. And this is me sitting on both hands because we were not taught that. And it is crucial now for our kids. And I'm sorry, I can hear myself getting up on the soapbox, but it's that close to my heart. And Mike, I don't know if you know this. We're talking about this generosity of Brilliant Bee Media gifting, matching the gifts of Chelsea. I have a similar initiative with my book and have since I published it 5 years ago, that for every book that you buy one of my books, one of these goes to a school or organization that will teach some of these skills to the kids. Oh, wow. Because the kids need this. And I'm not the one. I'm very clear. I am not the one to be teaching the kids, right? The picture I just showed you, I love working with kids like that all day long, but I'm not the one to be teaching them these. I want to get into the teachers. I want to get these into teachers' hands to help teach the kids. First of all, teach the parents, because if we're not doing it, the kids aren't going to do it. So for this tonight, I put together a new little offer, a little free thing with 5 of the techniques from the book called 5 Key Skills. And they're all so simple enough. Almost every one in my book is simple enough to teach a kid, to teach a 6-year-old. So I know, Mike, this is where I'm going to turn the spotlight back on you, because I absolutely love that Mike, this marshmallow, he's just such a, got such a good soft heart on the inside. And I think we'd all agree to that. All of us who know Mike, even just a little bit, would agree that he's just got this soft heart. So here's Mike. And he hears hypnotist. He was so gracious about it. He was just so gracious about it. But I could just see in the back of his head, he's like, what the? And then as time has gone by, and I am very happy to be in this community, as time goes by, Mike has started playing with some of these. And not just playing with them for himself, he's been sharing some of the techniques with his kids as well. Yes?
And dog. Don't forget the dog. It works on the dog.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's not a joke, y'all.
Well, it depends on which one. But so if you would just share, like you were sharing earlier before we went live, about doing the alternate nostril breathing, which some of you may have seen. I did a video about that recently on LinkedIn. And I told this story about teaching, a guy in a suit at a networking event who was stressed out. And I said, well, can I teach you something? So I'm off in the corner teaching him how to do this. And this guy comes across the room and he goes, what the hell are you doing? And the guy who I'm teaching was like, go away. This is helping me calm down. So then here's Mike talking about, okay, it looks weird, but it works.
Yeah.
So
yeah. What looks weirder? I mean, think about this. Home, school, wherever. What looks weirder? Taking some time out that you can probably hide, go in the bathroom stall, do this, right? The techniques you'll probably show us. Or run around like Gargamel, yelling at everybody and throwing stuff at stray cats, and right, that looks weirder to me. And again, I brought this to the country. I'm talking about the deep country. Like you get beat up for the wrong thing, and so they're doing Pilates techniques, right? Because they saw me do it and they got knee injury, and now I've got Cletus going right, like no. So you know why? Because it works. If it didn't work, then you would be a weird, and I wouldn't have you here. But these things work, and life's too short. I don't want to look cool anymore. That ship sailed. I'm married. I have kids. I got a business. I got a community. What do I need to be cool about? But I do want to be sane. I do want to be effective, and I do want to pass these skills on to my kids. So if you're a teacher, if you're dealing with all these things on a daily basis, if you know somebody, go look us up on YouTube because we're about to get into it. So thank you for that intro. Thank you for that setup. You're the real deal, and you practice what you preach. So hey, I'm gonna just kind of fade back and learn and take notes a little bit. Who wants to go? Stephanie, do you want to go ahead and lead us with a question, or what do you want?
So what I would love to hear is in the chat, which I'm sorry, I'm a little tech challenged with this one. I have never been able to figure out how I can actually type into the chat while we're doing live stream. So that's for another day. But in the chat, if you're a teacher and you have a question of, okay, what's something really quick I can do with my kids to help them calm down? Put it in the chat. First of all, go get my number 5keykskills.com. It's free. It'll give you 5 of the techniques from my book that you can use in the classroom. But most important, it is important that you put your oxygen mask on first, because I will always remember, again, my daughter, who's about to get married, when she was in 2nd grade, I remember hearing this teacher just losing her lunch on these kids. She was just, okay, we have to learn to be able to take care of ourselves first. So I want to have everybody do this with me. And chances are, not everybody has a tennis ball. I love doing this as a demo with the tennis ball, but I want you to just take your hands. First of all, think about something that has stressed you out. Could have been today, could have been in the past couple days. Oh my God, things come flooding in. Pick one and then start doing this. Put your hands in front of your chest and then swing one out to the side. We don't have to all go to the same side. It doesn't matter. And back. And those of you who we can't see, the ones who are watching but in the chat, please do this with us, because all of a sudden you're going to do this and you're going to start finding, it's taking the edge off. How the heck does this work? Keep doing it as I explain why this works, because I know, I talk about hypnosis, I talk about all this weird stuff, and it's like, what? But I give you the science behind it, and then you can go, I understand. So keep doing this. So obviously what we're doing here, you can see we're crossing the midline of the body, right? What's more important is we're crossing the midline of the brain. When we're dealing with stress or anxiety, our brain's out of balance. So when we're doing this, we balance the left side and the right side of our brain, and we can calm it down. So, what about if before you have a test with your kids, or even the first day of school when everybody's all, if you just say, hey, let's take a little thing. Okay, everybody do this, and watch everybody calm down. And so a lot of these techniques are now starting to come into classrooms. And that's really where my heart is to teach these to teachers and caregivers and parents so that they can then teach the kids. So now check in with yourself, whatever that thing you were just thinking about, and whether you're in the chat or one of the ladies or Mike online, go ahead and come off mute and say, okay, did you feel how, oh, it just kind of, it doesn't like magically take the biggest trauma in your life and poof, it's okay. I'm not saying that, but it takes off the edge. And when you do that, then we can fulfill, as you were talking about the Warren Buffett quote. There's one that I love from Bob Proctor about when you react, you're giving away your power. When you respond, you're staying in your power. And as an entrepreneur, there's a lot for us to react to. As a teacher, as a kid, there's a lot for us to react to. But when we learn how to do these really simple things and take the edge off, it helps us stay in our power. So who felt the little relaxation vibes there? Yay. Oh, I love seeing that.
I only have one thing to say, Mark Reed. Bark, 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 bark.
Okay. Well, no, Sue too. Do the other one now. Now you gotta bark like a dog.
Well, maybe later. So I don't know what he's talking about, that chicken stuff, because this made sense to me. All right. So I didn't get turned into a chicken bark bark, right?
Okay. I got a question for each one of you on the panel, and then I'll zip it and go on to somebody else. I want somebody to say, answer this. What's right now? What's right now? Come on, somebody tell me.
Tabitha getting quiet all of a sudden. Come on, Tabitha. You're the brave one.
Go ahead and talk. So what's right now is my mindset is right now. So because my mindset is right, everything else, it makes all of your problems, everything else smaller. So when my mindset is not right, my problems are magnified. So that part I have control over. I don't have control over other things.
Exactly. Ooh, thank you. So what's right now is one of the techniques from my book. And it's because think about how you could do this in the classroom, right? Okay, things are getting a little crazy. What's right now? Oh, what's right now? So the teacher starts with what's right now, like you just did. That was so beautiful, right? So you start and then you go around the classroom and everybody is now focusing on what's right instead of right the stuff, right? So when you are saying what's right now, you're looking for gratitude. When you look for gratitude, just the act of looking for it, it drops your cortisol, stress levels by 23%. Just looking for something to be grateful for. When you go to the feeling place, right? Because we don't want to just stay up here in our head. We want to bring it into our heart. When you go to the feeling place, now you're talking. Now our bodies are producing dopamine and serotonin, which are the happy hormones. How simple is that? What's right now? Do it in the classroom, do it around the dinner table.
Dude. Yeah, this makes sense to me. I mean, again, it's I do, hey, by the way, I do sillier stuff during Pilates with Michael Gale, which I'm going to be putting out there for everybody to see. So, hey, look, the question is, I want to go to the ladies, because you're a school teacher in school, in class, you got a few minutes, right, in between things. You got, not much time to eat. So we just saw a good example of what you could do. Is that what goes on in the teacher's lounge, or no? What usually happens in the teacher's lounge? Is it a bunch of like useful techniques, or is it just kind of like hair going out by the minutes? Who wants to take that?
I would love to jump on that one because I'm the teacher that did it wrong. And
Gosh.
part of the reason I'm sitting in this position now is because I want to teach teachers how to make sure that they well-being outside of school and have boundaries, because I didn't know how to do that until very late in my career. And because I didn't learn that until so late in my career, I think one of the things that I really, have worked a lot on is working with, prioritizing not just, my self-care and making sure I set boundaries, but, that I need to be my first priority because of that whole airplane, mentality of if the oxygen mask drops and I don't put my mask on and I'm helping everyone else, what's going to happen to me?
Right.
And so without having the fuel and taking care of myself, I can't take care of my littles and my babies in my classroom and making sure that they get what they need every day and that I'm at my best for them. So that's something that I work religiously now when I go into schools and I work with staff and I work with teachers. One of the first things I say is, how is your well-being? How is your work-life balance? Where is your boundaries? How have you set those up? Because if they haven't, they need to. So I'll get off my soapbox and let somebody else jump in, but that's just absolutely that's near and dear to my heart because I didn't know how to do that when I was a classroom teacher.
No,
I
that's
want to
straight from
say
the heart.
something.
Yeah.
I
Who
want to
else?
say
Chime in.
something. I want to say thank you, Kristen. I think that's right,
Thank
Kristen.
you.
Good Lord, don't don't be mad at me if I just switch you two
I
names around like I
understand.
normally do. But I want to say thank you, and I want to say you are an amazing example to many other teachers, because the one thing that you said was that I did it wrong, and I don't wish for you to do it wrong too. Do you know, for me, that is literally the first sign of being a great teacher, and being able to identify the mistakes that you've made and then the changes to make sure that you don't continue to make the same mistake over and over again. And that's why I needed to jump in before just the conversation went off, because I say thank you for that. Because what I'm about to say is the stuff I see where a lot of the teachers, many teachers are doing it wrong. Like I said in one of the other shows, I seen a teacher lose her crap on a student who, and I'm talking elementary school, that baby had to been only in the second grade. And the way she just unleashed on him was so uncalled for, and so much not okay for an adult to do to a child. I do know that that parent knew about it, because that child ended up in a different school a couple weeks later, because I seen him in the other school. So my point is that, I think that if we just gave a little bit more grace and a little bit more, and put so many things in perspective, or help the teachers in a way that they would be successful and not, and give grace, I think that that will give them space to be able to put their own oxygen mask on, be able to be mindful of their mental health, and know when enough is enough and they have to move on to, and let somebody else step in to carry that guard, right? So I cannot impress upon you enough. I am so grateful for you and Christine, because you guys are showing that it is possible to learn from your mistakes and then teach others not to have those same mistakes in their career.
And I think it's important too to note that we're not allowing others to let us, do that and gaslight us into that situation. When I left the school system, my position was social emotional coach and curriculum leader for not just the kids, but to help the staff as well. And my position was cut financially. And I was told, well, social emotional learning is just not a priority anymore. And this was in midst COVID. And I thought, well, if it's not a priority now, it's never going to be. So we're not on the same page, and I need to get on the outside and figure out how to make this a bigger, issue that people fix. So
Go ahead,
I
Christine. I
wanted
got
to
to hear from you.
chime in too. So, thank you, ladies, because you had a lot of great points. Kristen, you're right. We learned from our mistakes. And Tabitha, you've seen a lot going on in the schools just from a visitor coming in and taking a look on the outside in. Like Kristen, I've changed my ways. So you asked, what does a faculty lounge look like? So I honestly don't know. I don't choose to partake in the faculty lounge because people talk. So what I do instead is I take my deep breaths, I take my mindful moments. I actually get some more exercise in. So then that way that helps calm you down and get your brain thinking. And it gets me recentered. And then I have my protein shake and I sit down in I'm also in the dark and just relax. So then that way I am ready to receive my children in a more mindful way and not stressed out. So that is one of the tips that I have. So when the children come back, they're heightened, right? And so I just got to relax, but they're heightened. You got to bring them back down, which means you kind of got yourself revved up. Well, how do you calm yourself back down? Mindful moments with my students. So my students come in and we watch a video and they calm their bodies down, and then we practice our deep breathing. So it's that's one of the ways that we help out our students as well. So checking to see what works. If it's working, keep doing it. If it's not working, cut it out and figure it out another alternative very, very quickly.
Wow, well said. And again, I relate to that because when I had when I was at UPS, a great place, but I was driving around, I was union employee, and I realized I didn't have to go in the break room. A lot of negativity in the break room, it was rubbing off on me, and so I think that's very telling of you to say, hey, I can choose how I spend my lunch or go somewhere, and you if you are in a negative environment, not everybody is, and it doesn't mean it's negative, but you can take alone time. You don't have to be surrounded by people. You can take her Stephanie Dalfonzo's book out, read it, right? She's got daggum resources everywhere. I mean, daggone, it's like, but even it's affordable. Oh, it's crazy affordable. I mean, daggone,
Well,
I've
and
bought
it's
stick of gum.
usable. I mean, you can see I've got tabs.
Yeah. I mean, it pays itself in dividends. So let me ask this question, because we talked a little bit, we did some techniques, and we understand obviously that it's useful for teachers and parents. But what about them real hyper kids? So you got a little the redneck financial coach junior, right? In your dadgum in your classroom. So is there short, simple techniques that we can share like universally with kids, or maybe even make a group topic, or like make it maybe after the Pledge of Allegiance, right? You teach them. What do you think about this, Stephanie?
So again, any of the techniques, like the majority of the techniques in my book are good for kids. The ones that I put in this 5 key skills are definitely for kids. But when you're talking about, when you're using the term hyper, I want to tell you a story about an 8-year-old boy who the school was saying, well, we got a problem here. And mom was not interested in going the traditional route. And so she said, is there anything you can do? And I'm like, I make no promises, but, bring him in. Remember, 8-year-old kid.
Right.
And they were bantering about the alphabet soup. We'll leave it at that. Kid comes in. You talk about hyper. He's banging my chair back and forth. I mean, he was just, whew. So I taught him, and I think I shared this with you once, Mike. If you just do this, like literally, I don't know if this is true, but supposedly this is how you hypnotize a chicken. But if you do this with your dog, you do this with yourself, it's very calming. So I taught the kid how to do that. And teachers, essential oils can be your little secret weapon that nobody really knows what you're doing. But lemon essential oil is the oil of focus. Oh, so I teach this little 8-year-old how to do this, and I have him sniff some lemon essential oil. This kid, remember, he's banging in my chair back and forth, back and forth. Inside of 5 minutes, he's now curled up, sucking his thumb under the blanket, and mom's sitting on the couch with tears streaming down her face. It can be that simple. Like literally, it can be that simple. If you don't have restrictions about, scents in the classrooms or whatever, lemon is fabulous for focus. Lavender is fabulous for calming. So these are simple ways to just take the edge, take things down. You were talking about the mindful moment. And one of the things is
Well,
not
hang on a
good for
second.
doing like
Hang on, everybody's cracking up. Nobody know. So backstage, I said, "That's the technique I taught the dog." Remember I told you I taught the dog,
oh,
Mark Reed.
okay.
See this hip, woof, 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 Mark Reed, bark, bark, and so yeah, this stuff works on animals.
You
Remember
do this on your dog and it works,
yeah,
right?
yeah, go ahead, keep going. I just want everybody to know my silly my lab pit mix. She's all spinning her chair, and I'm like, okay, I got some lavender over here. Don't ask why, but I got some little cubes. And I put it in the thing. It smells like feet in here. That's why. So I put it in there. I don't know whose feet. It's not my feet. But anyway, so I had some and I did it to the dog. Man, the dog was going to sleep. And I'm like, okay. So then I went in the house and did it to the kids. Same stuff. I'm like, wow. So I'm sorry. I had to interject. Keep going.
No. Don't apologize because you're Mike. When you say this weird stuff that I trot out, when you say, you know what, that stuff works, people hear it in a much different way than hearing it from me. Because, okay, maybe you think this is all hooey or whatever,
Right.
but when you're saying this stuff works, people hear that in a different way. And the fact that you do this with your kids, the very first thing I would say, as far as for a hyper kid, whether it is a teacher in the classroom, you have to do what we were talking about earlier. Put that oxygen mask on first. You're all stressed out and, let me teach you how to calm down isn't going to communicate well to the kids. So again, if you have questions about this, reach out to me. I'm happy to share all the resources I have. Again, I put this little report together, the 5keyskills.com. And the essential oils, again, you can just diffuse those in the classroom, and you're not saying, okay, we're going to smell lavender today because we want to get focused. The kids don't know. Put lavender and lemon in your diffuser. You're getting them calm and you're helping them get focused just like that. But so, the mindful minute. How I start all of my private sessions and my group coaching program is with a good minute. What the heck is that? It's not, let's do a minute of meditation. It's nothing, like you can't push back on it. It's just, I'm going to set the timer, 60 seconds. And that's too long for the kids in the classroom, I know, but maybe, 30 seconds. Or, for us as entrepreneurs, I do this with my clients all the time. And I had one woman who was so smart. She was like, oh, you know what I started doing with these good minutes? I finish one task, do a good minute, and then I'm refreshed to start the next one. Like, take what I share and find where you can make it work in your life.
Yeah, beautiful stuff. And I made myself take a walk and play fetch. It doesn't have to be static, and you don't have to have a technique. If you just, you should. There's different techniques, do different things. But just making myself throw even the dog was like, you only threw it 3 times, but I'm like, that's 3 more times because I've been too busy to throw. Really, I'm too busy to play fetch for 45 seconds with a dog.
Really?
That's when I knew I was falling off the deep end. Yeah, no, I'm like, why be self-employed? If you can't take a bathroom break and you're your own, well, come on, man. So, yeah, I'm loving what you're throwing at. Let me throw this out there because I'm here not just because I'm the host and I have to be, and if you had put up with me, but I was on Raquel's show because Sia was busy, so I pinch hit, right? But I was the homeschool dad, right? Because I had children, and my daughter was in school, and we took her out, we put her back in, and we took her back out. Right? So we did the hokey pokey with school. Um, so, my perspective is, well, because if you're a stay-at-home parent, mom, dad, guardian, whatever, and you're homeschooling, oh man, dude. So like, you don't have, how you joke about getting rid of your kids for 6 hours? Oh man, that's the drawback. Like I love the time I have, but she's always here. Right. So this is really good stuff that I'm like, okay, again, I could be Gargamel and just yell, or I can practice some techniques that work on both of us, not just the dog. So what do you think, ladies chime in, as far as people and parents, as teachers, I'll start with Christine. All right. Do you think doing it together. I mean, picking up Stephanie's book, watching a video, picking up a technique, and doing it together. Would that be beneficial all across the board? I mean, what kind of
Sure.
impact would that make?
I think that that's beneficial. I would also add in a couple other strategies too in there. Sometimes when I notice that children are hyper, I actually go with it. So I'll do jumping jacks with them. So like you're saying, Mike, that I'll go ahead and I'll be active with them, because I'm not going to just sit there and say, you need to do this. We do it together and we have fun. And so we'll do as many, and I'll have run in place. And then what we'll do is we'll check to see if they're calm. And if they are calm, then, after we do our deep breathing, then we can go ahead and resume it. The other thing that also helps is heavy lifting. So I will assign a child to go pick up library books. It's a job. It gets them out of the classroom just for a minute. It gives them a purpose, and then they come back and they're calmer. So, and I don't give away my whole all my books. I give away some of them, so I have the strategy left. I also have a big water jug because our water fountains are still turned off. So they carry the water jug, and then they have a purpose, and then they come back, and it helps calm again. It helps calm them down. So sometimes going with it is a good strategy, trying to calm them down. If that doesn't work, you have other things. So making sure that you have a wide variety of things to try and have it available and accessible to you is also a good idea too.
Man, practical stuff. I mean, it's not rocket science. I think somebody speak to this. To me, it's not that I don't know to take a walk, right? It's not that I don't know I should take deep breaths. It's just I don't ever think of it. Like how? Okay, so ladies, I'm gonna pick on the quieter ones before I let Stephanie come in. So how do we get out of our own head? It's like, it's one thing to be like, oh, there's Stephanie Dalfonzo. I saw her on LinkedIn. I'm gonna breathe. It's another thing to be in your own head and not even realize until you're just spinning around making everybody mad. So what techniques do you all offer in your own experiences that like Christine just shared? Like, what are some other things that you don't need to be a hypnosis and somebody skilled in it? What have you saw that works and don't work?
I'll
So,
jump on this real
go
quick.
ahead.
Are you sure?
Yep, go ahead.
I stepped back in the classroom about 6 years ago or so, and I was a self-contained behavior teacher for an alternative high school. And all of a sudden, I had exposure to kids who had issues well beyond anything I had ever experienced before, many of whom had been, cycled through residential treatment for mental health issues. And one of the things that I really suffered myself with was that secondary post-traumatic stress of taking on everything those kids were going through myself and trying to fix it all. And I had to really step back and recognize, first of all, there's no way that I can fix it all. And second of all, I have to, look at what's attainable and what's reasonable. But, just thinking back to like what Christine was saying about modeling and Stephanie was saying about modeling all these wonderful strategies, those are all great. And I use all those. But the other thing I used to do when I was a behavior specialist working with these really severe kids, when they would throw down, I would mimic them and throw down with them. And they'd stop and look at me like, what are you doing? I'm like, this is what you're doing. And that was one of the most powerful things. Answering a child in profanity the way that they've just spoken to you in profanity shocks the living daylights out of them, to the point they're like, well, you can't talk to me like that. And it's like, well, wait a minute, you just did it to me. And so I really got into using that, thinking outside of the box. How could I use their own, behavior against them? A lot of times, and it worked. It really made a difference.
Oh, I did it last night. She's been doing this thing that's driving me nuts, saying stuff. So last night I got a wild, crazy hair and just went. And now she realizes, don't mess with dad. Like, where do you think you were born? Where do you think your genetics came from? And I get him, stop it. Oh yeah, I was giving her. So guess what she did not do today? None of it. Because she's like, daddy ain't playing. So when you give them a taste of their own medicine, as we say in the South,
Yes.
yeah, it's because it kicks it. Like I do this to adults. I say, do you feel better now? Yeah, because in other words, you just act like a child, and I'm asking you if your temper tantrum helped you, Mister
Right.
business owner guy, right? So it's a snarky, witty, but again, I do it to people, and it's been done to me. I'll admit it. Sometimes I get man, baby, gargamelish, and sometimes I need a little rude kick in the pants. So don't be. Oh, by the way, don't be afraid to let people gently know you're grumpy. Even Sia told us the other day that we were allowed to tell her if she was grumpy, and I'm like, wow, I still don't believe that. I'll tell Raquel to tell Sia, see if that works. But I think it's telling that she's self-aware and realizes, look, I'm doing 8 million tasks right now. Might be off key. So what do you think about that, Tabitha? Is that something that tell people, hey, help me stay in line today?
Yeah, so I wanted to make two comments. One is that my grandmother used to say, only one of you can act crazy at a time. It's better you than them.
Yep.
So I learned how to do that. And so I did that to my kids. When they would do things, I would interrupt the pattern. So they would talk to me sideways and I would ask them a question and they would just be like, oh, they would go completely left. And then I would be like, oh my God, what's happening? And they were like, what's going on? I was like, I know you can do better. I'm going to have you try that again. And it shocks them out of wherever they are in their head and forces them to realize that there's a better way to communicate, right? So it just makes it so much different. So yes, only one of you can act crazy at a time. It's better you than them. So that's what you do. But here's the thing, I'll give you the story, short story. Remember, I work for arrival and dismissal in schools. So everybody's either grumpy to go to school or they're so excited to go home. And when in elementary school, the kids their meds are running out, things are happening. People are forgetting to pick up the kid because I just need an extra hour, right? For whatever reason. But this one little person, he was a little boy, and all the teachers always said something so negative about this kid. But I was in there to implement the process. It didn't matter. I don't care. I need all kids to go home to their parents because that's where they belong. So I remember they were like, oh my gosh, it's a little boy. And they were just nasty about this kid. So one day, I mean, he had a black eye, no book bag, just hot mess. But they would not want to deal with him. And I was like, nope, all little people need a little love. That's all they need. Now I'm not always in my fields, like Sia would say. You got to get in the fields, Tabitha. But I'm not always there. So one of the things I did is I went and sat down next to him. I said, hey, can we play a game? And he said, okay. And I said, come on, let's play a game. What you want to play? He said, I spy. And I said, okay, well, let's do that. And we played for about 5 or 10 minutes. He was calm, he was happy, and he got attention. So somewhere locked in all of that, we are so busy that we don't have time as parents and as, caregivers and as teachers to give them an extra love and attention. And those kids act out because of it. So just spending a little bit of time with them doesn't hurt. And it actually helps. Because the next time I come back, he was like, hey, you want to play? But now he's like, I know her. And I remember he says, there's the kicks lady. Come sit with me. Right. And so when that let me know that he just needed a little bit of extra time with somebody, because for whatever reason, it doesn't matter. This is part of the village and the community coming together to support the child and the educators and the families, because we're all a part of this. And so when you see a kid and they're out of sorts and things aren't right, just ask a question. Do you want to play a game? And they'll say yes or no. I found out why he got a black eye, busted in the head. He spilled milk. And he was doing something and he got all tied up. So I don't want anybody to walk away thinking these parents were abusing that child. That's not what happened. He was extremely active and he had an accident. And he was like, oh yeah, it all got done. But one of the things he did say, he was like, but I got my card already. So he was excited about having his kicks card and he was excited to talk to me every day that I was there. So when we look at being able to support those kids and support where they are and meet them where they are, they just want very, very simple things. Are you willing to talk to me? Are you willing to listen to what I have to say, even though I'm talking about Big Bird and how I didn't appreciate the word he used today? It just doesn't matter. You just want to be able to support them, because the little things turn into big things and you become the person they come to. But don't worry, you got to get with them, because only one of you can act crazy at a time, and it's better for you than them.
Hey, look, I got to go here. Look, 2 things, man, because you dropped a lot on us. I loved it. Number one, I even had to write it down. First of all, remember when you were a kid, did you like did you like the cool teacher or the other teacher? You like the be the cool teacher every now. Be the cool person. It works with adults. Like I had the coolest supervisor back in the day, man. Name was Chad. Chad did the same. Chad was so cool. He didn't tell you. He asked you. He was just hanging out. You need a day off. Chad hook you up. So guess who never had problems with the union and all the employees? Chad. Yeah, like because when Chad said, "Hey, can you do?" Hell yeah, because I want to keep getting hooked up and somebody, like yeah, I'll do that for him. And he could tell me, but he's choosing not to. So, hey, respond, not react. My uncle told me fish react. You ever catch the same fish over and over again? They don't think, they don't respond, they react. They see, they do. That's the whole tenet. And I'm not preaching. I'm saying I learned through fire, right? All the stuff that the honey badger, Warren, man, I've been like a mess this last couple months, but it's called growth. And I want to make sure people are aware of that, hey, don't be ashamed of it. This is why we're here. So thank you, ladies, for sharing it. All right. Be the mighty fish and the honey badger and all kind of weird animal reference going on here. So, but I mean, really, what do you think you were, right? You know where you're at. You're dadgummit. Everybody else is thirsty. Dadgummit, catch up. There you go. 3 sips. All right. Stephanie, I tell you what, we had so much fun. Definitely, we're going to hear from you ladies probably in the holidays because guess what? That's real stressful, especially around school. So we'll have to have you all back on Thanksgiving time because then Stephanie be blowing up even more, and she's high demand. So before we go, though, we ain't leaving. Ain't nobody leave. Don't think it's over yet. Sit down. So, yeah, so sit down, imaginary people, virtual land. All right. So, what do you think? Leave us with something. Whatever final thoughts, Stephanie. Let's lead it out. Walk us through. Give us your best wisdom of and how to find you, and then I'll give everybody a last chance to talk, and we'll wrap this up because I think you gave enough for free. All right. So, do one
Awesome.
more for free.
So the thing that I want to leave you with is so important, and it's usually the thing that I forget to talk about. And it's the teachers in the room, repetition, repetition, repetition. The way that we learn habits is by repeating them and practicing again and again and again. So any of these techniques that I've shared, you don't do them one time. You don't go brush your teeth one time and think you're never going to get cavities, right? You have to do it again and again and again. So whether it is finding an accountability buddy, I love saying buddy up with somebody, commit to for the next 7 days, because anybody can do anything for 7 days, that you're going to check in each day. Hey, are you doing this? Agree beforehand which couple techniques you're going to focus on, and having that accountability makes all the difference, which is why, nice little segue, thank you, Mike, why I put together a Goodbye Anxiety group program so that we can get together twice a month and have that accountability to really action these, because unless we action them, it becomes self-help, shelf help. We all have those sagging shelves where we've bought all these damn books and programs and but we don't do anything with it, right? We stick it up on the shelf and then we wonder why nothing changed. So you have to take action, right? In your kids that you send off to work with these beautiful teachers, they learn because of repetition. They don't learn, okay, we're going to teach you how to add now, and then, next week it's going to be algebra. It's repetition, repetition. So that's my best wisdom. And then I want to leave you with one final perfect technique to wrap up the night. And it is, please yawn. Like literally, that is a technique. I want to see you yawn.
Is that why you got excited when I yawned the other day and you're like, woo, good for you? And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I just yawned.
I do this. I'm on, and I do it with my clients, but I can't help it. I see somebody yawn and I'm like, do more of that. Because, of course, I've got the science behind it. You can have your kids do this in the classrooms. The reason this works is, I'm sure there's been so much talk, finally about the vagus nerve. Bottom line, it's the longest nerve in our body. It goes from our brain down to our abdomen. It wraps around all our internal organs, and it stimulates our parasympathetic nervous system, which is like rest and relax. And so your brain doesn't know the difference between real and imagined. So whether it's a fake yawn like this or an actual yawn because you didn't sleep well last night, you yawn, you stimulate the relaxation response. So let me see you, everybody now. Yeah. There you go. Like, what a great way
So
to wrap up the night.
wait a minute, wait a minute. First of all, I've been holding in yawns because that's considered highly rude. You know how rude I look? I already look rude. And when you're saying, "Hey, Mike, I've been wanting to talk to you all day," I'm like, "Oh, okay, this is great. I can't wait to hear you." So, uh, so what do you say about that one?
So if you do it and you're worried that somebody's thinking you're being rude, just say, hey, yawn with me. I heard this crazy hypnotist lady telling me that, and it relaxes me. So, yeah, I yawn a lot. And little fact, and I'm sure there's a more recent one, but the last one I had was that 1/3 of Americans don't get 6 hours of sleep a night. So yawn. Everybody will just think
Wow.
you're not sleeping well.
You earned it. Yeah. Well, and to say, hey, it's not you that's boring me. It's just my crappy sleeping habits, right? Like it's you don't have to be that creative. Oh, by the way, it just cracked me up because you didn't preference, like why you were selling. Like next time I'm gonna go open a can of peas by myself, I'm gonna take a picture so you can go, yay, Mikey! Because now, thank you for explaining why my yawn impressed you, right? I was just like, damn, I'm 42. I know how to do. I know how to yawn. So thank you for explaining it. We have fun around here. We kid. So thank you for that. I mean, daggone, man. Look, the group coaching, guess who's in that?
Yes, thank you.
Well,
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
think it's my wife, but I can sneak around. She can't see me peeking in. It's okay. But hey, go check out this course, guys. I know people wasting money on Starbucks in a couple of days. Like, go make the investment. Go get this done. You're hearing from me of all people advocating for this. Like, this is because it works. I mean, it was the real deal, and you're funny, you're entertaining, and you're fun to be around. I mean, let's get real. So, I mean, there's no reason not to do it. I mean, and you put people to sleep. Thank you for not doing it. Remember, she put Raquel's audience to sleep. In the comments were bumping. All of a sudden, just stop. And see is like, is it broken? I'm like, no, everybody's asleep. That's what Stephanie Dalfonzo put. Everybody's asleep. So, and
I'll use my
only
hypno
one clucked.
I'll, I'll use my hypno voice and allow you to
That one.
get into a nice, peaceful sleep.
Hey, Mark Reed, stop barking, man. Ain't nobody hypnotized you. All right, stop that. All right, so ladies, final thoughts. Where can the people find you? Tabitha, final thought. Where can the people find you?
I think ultimately it comes down to communication and then taking care of yourself, right? Communicate out whether or not you're healthy, communicate out whether or not you're having a good day or a bad day, and it's okay. So everybody has ebbs and flows, and it's okay to be part of that, right? Because that means you're human. So my whole entire thing is that if you're having a hard time, just make sure you have a partner and then communicate that with them. And don't take it out on the little people because we get it. I mean, just don't take it out on them. It's our job to make sure that they have enough skills to
Mhm.
make it to the age of 18 and successfully fly the coop. But we can't do that if we break them, if we break their wings prior to them getting off out of the nest, right? So just be mindful of that. You didn't want that being done to you when you were their age. Please don't do that to them because that does have a traumatic impact to the rest of their lives. So if you ever want to talk to me, you can go ahead and hit me up on LinkedIn because I seem to live there a lot. And then the other thing is on Tuesdays, we actually have a LinkedIn live show called Save Our Kids, 1 p.m. Eastern time, where we talk to different business owners and parents about different techniques and solutions in order to help support the families, the children, the community, and the education system. So come on by and feel free if you're interested in joining us there. And then, as Christine has said, on Thursdays, we do run a show that's called Breaking Through the Contradictions, where we take all of the contradictions that impact our children and we unpack them, discover what they are, and try to find another solution for how to implement them or how to get rid of them or how they impact a child's growth and development. So I always look forward to that. So thank you very much for allowing me to
Beautiful.
be here today.
Oh man, you're so shy. We got to work on that. Hey, school administrators, people who know people, right? I try to get. I can get you in contact. I think I know. I think the guys on the board. Introduce this. Introduce Tabitha. This is not trying to sell people in the North Pole like ice cubes. This is like giving a man a drink in the desert when he hadn't drank anything in 2 days. This is a connection issue. So connect her because the last thing anybody wants is lawsuits, PR damage, hurt children, emotional or physical, all that stuff. Just do it. Don't lost children. No. Hey, Go call her. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. Who wants to be next? Because look, they're like, please don't let the ball come to me. I made this. I scared everybody. I get it. Christine, final thoughts, and where can the folks find you?
Okay, my final thoughts are maintaining a work-life balance. So making sure that you have time outside of school. The other thing that I have a friend that works really long hours. And so we created an accountability partner. So she'll call me up and say, hey, I'm going to stay at school. And I'll say, no, you're not. And so that way we can make sure that we hold each other accountable. The other thing that we do, because she wants to stay late, well, how can you shorten that time? How can we reconfigure that time to make it shorter? And that way, maybe you can get it done during your school hours. So that way you'll have more of a work-life balance. The other thing is that if you want to, teachers are very busy. Teachers will say, we don't have enough time in our schedule to do X, Y, and Z. So what I found is that I started off like for exercising 5 minutes in a week. And then I increased it to 10 because we all have 5 minutes in a week. Then I increased it to 10 minutes. And then I increased it to 15 minutes. So I reached until I reached my goal. So that is another way to reach your goal while still fitting in the time. Make your lunch at night. So then that way you have healthy foods and you're not just grabbing and going. Teachers are notorious for grabbing and going. It costs more money. And to pack your own food, it's healthier. So that would be another thing. And also gratitude and journaling are huge components. So just making sure that you are checking your mindset. And if it isn't broke, don't fix it. But if it's broke, you better hurry up and get to the repair shop and fix it as soon as possible. So people can go ahead, they can find me on LinkedIn, and that's where I spend a lot of time. Thank you for having me on the show.
She's a
You're
hard
just
ass.
a fountain of knowledge, man. Just wow. Stop giving all. You got all that for free. You got more left. Wow. All right. That's impressive. All y'all just give all this for free. I'm like, what do you sell? I thought you just gave all the good stuff. There's better. Jeez. All right. All right. I'm gonna stop. Um, Kristen, do me a
I,
favor. Tell us your final thoughts and where the good folks can find you.
Absolutely. I will say this is a hard group to follow and be the last one on, but I think the biggest thing, everybody's hitting on a lot of the things that I was planning on talking about, but one of the biggest things going back to those boundaries with teachers and setting those boundaries, one of the things that happens a lot with teachers is we get told, oh, well, you can just do that, before school, or you can just do that after school, or you can just do that on your weekends. And we're just expected to do that. And we need to learn how to say no. It's okay to say no. And it's one of those, we cannot be expected to be on every committee, do every single thing, and absolutely, have to put ourselves before things sometimes, and taking care of ourselves is the first way to do that. And setting that boundary of, no, I'm not going to. My father taught me a long time ago, and I never understood it till I got older in life, into my 40s. He said, you need to practice the saying, I'm sorry, that just won't be possible. You don't have to tell them anything other than that. You owe them no explanation. And I'm getting really good at that in my older age. I don't owe you an explanation. I'm just going to simply tell you no. So
Wise advice.
On that note, I can be found also on LinkedIn. That's probably the fastest way to get in touch with me. I also am in the process of getting a YouTube channel up and started. My handle will be at the Child Advocate. And I also am getting started with my own inclusion and advocacy business. So that's something that will be coming down the pike.
You're a fantastic human being. Just all of y'all are. And I just, it's more importantly, or as importantly, I should say, most noticeable is who you are and why you do stuff. That's why you're so daggum good and knowledgeable about what you do. All of y'all. Because you care. It's not about money. It's not just about that. It's about making a difference. And because of that, I hope the hell you do make lots of money. That's the measuring stick to success. If I don't help a lot of people, that means I ain't make no money. So if I don't make money, I ain't do shit. And so we got to get real with our business language. Like, hey, the litmus test. I'm not here. Okay. I'm not charity today. If I get filthy Scrooge McDuck rich, which I'm kind of looking forward to, I'll go help. I'll go donate to charity. Right. Anyway, we got to do more. Cut the shit. So speaking of that, since I'm feeling frisky, since these nice school teacher ladies, oh no, hey, school teachers, you daggum right. Just like Kristen said, say no. What the hell are they gonna do? Fire you? They can't find enough teachers to save their life. Cause you say no if you don't want to do extra stuff. You earned it. Okay, there you go. That's my thing. I can say it, you can't. But yeah, I mean, come on. It's it's kind of like toilet paper in 2020, right? Like you come on, you take what you can get. One ply is fine, right? So you got it. So if you don't want to work overtime, you better just do it, because I'm serious. There'll be guys like me teaching, and y'all don't want that. So hey, take care of teachers. All right. So on that note, hey, you all are awesome. Please go connect with these people. We have fun, but we're all heart, and they do this, and I applaud you. Go support their page. Go support their anything you can. Go to their LinkedIn, ring the bell. A lot of these folks. I mean, we work jobs, we have families, we got things going on, but we do this because we want to make a difference. And so support people, support your local. You know how the old thing in the 90s, support your local business, support the local person that you're looking at right now, right? Support your tribe, man. So go out there, check them out, share them with other people. This is good stuff. I don't say that. If this wasn't good, I wouldn't be here, right? Mark Reed. I got you, man. Don't turn nobody no animals. All right. So hey, I'm just going to end on that note. No man or woman is an island. And sometimes we gotta kind of remind ourselves of that. And I heard you all say this in your final thoughts. Accountability, pushing people up, right? That's the whole point. Like if I had to do this alone, actually I did it alone. That's why I'm 42 and now starting to go on the rise, right? I needed people with me, right? And on that note, people watching, listen, this is what it's about. And these people push me up like no other, right? They help me get in my own head. They keep my ego in check. They make me look way better than I actually am in real life sometimes. So this is what I'm talking about. So tomorrow, 1 p.m., shameless plug. If you're a stray out there, you're looking for an uplifting community, you want to get business results, dadgummit, 1 p.m. tomorrow. That's your chance. And if you're across, not in this continent, as long as you're not Mark Reed, JD, all right, with the hat, you're fine. We'll get you a recording, so you can still join. UK folks, all right, I keep it coming, UK folks. Y'all making the night shift at the Hounds bumping. All right, keep it up, keep it going. So, guys, join me, ladies. Fantastic. Thank you for what you do. Send them don't send them a message. Put a comment on these ladies' profile and just tell them thank you. Thank you for doing what you do. It's not thankless. Show your appreciation on the comments. That's it. That's all I got, everybody. Tune in next Wednesday. Surprised host, surprise guest. I'm actually going to take some time off of my family. Not much, but I'm going to. So we are going to have, I hope y'all want me back after next Wednesday. They say, oh my gosh, if he's not here, and this happens, woo! So special guest, it's all mystery. I'm not telling you nothing. Sealed. Fort Knox. Got it. All right. So everybody, hey, join me tomorrow at the town hall. Go out there and make friends, be fearless, take baby steps, and I will see you on the next one. Well, no, I won't. Somebody will see you on the next one. All right. Be here next Wednesday at 7 p.m., y'all. Appreciate you. Round it up. See you. Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure to follow, share, and like, and send me a message if you had fun today. Y'all come back now.